Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of This Is Me Attitude Podcast with me, your host, Rachel, just a girl in her 20s trying to figure this crazy life out and bringing you along the way of life, entrepreneurship, and all the things. So let's dive into another great episode. Today's episode is all about growth, and I'm going to break it down into 3 steps of the ways that I've grown in myself. And when I say growth, I mean growth for you. I don't mean growth for anyone else. I mean you're growing the way you want to grow as a human being. You're growing in the way that you want to be a mama, the way you want to be a friend, the way you want to be yourself, however you want to grow. And I'm going to take you into my personal steps of what I've seen I've done the last few days and the last weeks. And then I'm also going to tell you how I felt like everything just fell apart in real time. So, here we go. I can tell it's been a minute since I've talked to you guys because I keep deleting what I'm saying. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm trying to get over that perfectionism. So we're just going to keep rolling with it and see what happens. So bear with me on this one. So step 1 is I've grown in my faith with God and I believe in the law of attraction. Some people might think they're different, but the way I believe in it and the way that I see how God has made everything on this earth, they find a way of working within each other, and it is something that I've fallen back on, with God being number 1 in my heart and in my life. And yes, that's how I go. And if you agree, disagree, totally fine, but there is maybe a higher power for you, and if that's something that you can work with and something that makes you feel better, and that's why I'm sharing, so I hope that it helps you. Number 2, I've grown in my belief in myself. I believe in myself more than I ever have in my entire life, and I think the biggest reason for that is personal development, listening to podcasts like this that I'm trying to create, talking to you guys, talking to friends and family that think the same way. I've just done every little bit I can to get out of my comfort zone and to keep moving forward, and every time I do that, the belief in myself, the belief I can do new things keeps coming and coming and coming. 3, I've grown in having not to be perfect, with a setback here or there. Actually, multiple setbacks because I'm human. That's just what it is. But I've gotten a lot better at not being perfect. I've gotten a lot better at saying, okay, I messed up on this, part of life. We're going to go forward with it. And I believe sharing this could help you listening say, oh my gosh, I've been a perfectionist in my head for however many years, and this one person is saying it, and that's just going to hit home, because you can hear something a million times, but sometimes just hearing it that millionth and one time, it hits differently. So hopefully this is that time that it hits a little bit differently for you. And with saying all those 3 steps, the next part is I'm going to go into how I was feeling yesterday and how the perfectionist brain came back, but it didn't fully come back as it used to. So let's go into that. Have you ever heard of night and day difference? Well, I have, and I felt it multiple times in my life. And today, compared to yesterday, is the same. Yesterday was a day of perfectionist brain going, you suck, you didn't do this is happening wrong in your life, you didn't do that, and Rachel sucks and nobody likes her, oh my gosh. That was on repeat in my head all day long. I was emotional because of it. I was off because of it. I just didn't like it. And the old Rachel would have been like, okay, this is how we're going to stuck. We feel sorry for ourselves. Like, this just sucks. Now, the Rachel I am today realized it, took a step back, and that's why I'm sharing. Because if this is your reminder that you need to take a step back in where you're at in overall life, where you are in your growth process, where you are as a person, do it. It is actually going to help you grow more if you take the step back, if you journal the feelings out, if you talk to a friend, if you just watch a movie to laugh, do whatever you have to make you get out of that moment and be happy for yourself and be thankful and grateful that you are here breathing on this earth, because that in itself is a huge thing to be grateful for. And yesterday was a good reminder of that, and like I said, today is night and different. I am now recording this episode. I am now cleaning the house regularly. I went for a run this morning. I got out in nature, like all the things, just because I realized that I was going down the path I didn't want to in growing, And I stopped in it in the middle of the muck and said, okay, this is how this is feeling, but this isn't going to last forever. And that's the biggest reason why I wanted to come on today and say that you're growing. There's growing pains. It's gonna feel sucky. It's gonna hurt, but that pain isn't gonna last forever. And I hope these 3 steps that I've done that have helped me numerous times in life help you. And if you have your own 3 steps, I would love to hear them. And that's all I got for today. Thank you for making it through another episode of This Is Me Attitude podcast with me. Can you believe it? We made it through another one and neither of us fainted. It's a miracle. It has been my pleasure, an amazing thing to make this podcast, to have people listen to it, and I cannot thank you enough. With that, if you had any takeaways from today's episode, please go share it over with me on Instagram at Rachel Fun Hills. I would love to hear your takeaways, and I can't wait for the next episode.